It's the B Cup. Hi, kids. Morning. Good morning, YouTube. It's January 11th. It's the B Cup, and I'm gonna do my disclaimer before all of you come on right now. And excuse my allergies. It's from cannabis and Los Angeles. So the disclaimer is I'm Buck Angel. This is the B Cup. I do not represent any community, LGBTQIA, nobody, specifically the transgender community. I speak about my truth and my life and my opinions, and I encourage you to do the same. Let's go. The B Cup. Good morning, kids. Um, Today we're going to talk about my favorite word, abundance, because I really believe we don't talk about it enough, and I feel a lot of fear from our community around abundance and around the fact that maybe they don't feel that they'll be able to achieve a level because maybe they don't understand that there is abundance. But the problem is that we all in a collective are not understanding what abundance means, and that is where we are getting lost. So I think it's a really important discussion, and I think it's an important discussion to help us remove the fear that we have towards each other, and that also causes energy is everything. Good morning, Lauren. Nice to see you, my friend. In case and you have your coffees. Do you have your coffees? Because you can't be on the B Cup without your coffee. Well, you're allowed to have a tea, or you're allowed to have a water. I embarrassingly have. I don't even want to put it up. I'm just gonna put the can up because I don't like the name of it. I embarrassingly have the trendy water because it was on sale. That's why. So I'm gonna put on Facebook now. Let's go. So now we're going Facebook. Good morning. Good morning, Facebook. The B Cup. Good morning, kids. It's January 11th, and here we are on another day, and it's Thursday, and I want to do my disclaimer really quick. And I do not represent any community, any LGBT community, specifically the transgender community. I speak my own truth, my own life, my own thoughts, my own opinions. I encourage you to do the same. So I am not the voice of any community. I'm the voice of myself. So, and I'm very opinionated, as you know, and if you join us on the B Cup a lot, you'll understand that I am extremely opinionated. I encourage you to be opinionated too. It is really a part of what we do at the B Cup. Okay, we talk and we have opinions, and we don't discourage those opinions. So, good morning, Tori and Smash and Michelle and Casey. How are you guys? This is my second cup already because I went out last night to an event that Pride Wellness, my company Pride Wellness, sponsored the CBD drink. And it was such a great time. And it was a cisgender event. And I want to talk a little bit about that and getting invited to cisgender events when our community is so extremely negative around a lot of cisgender people. But they invite me everywhere. They create a space for LGBT cannabis within a straight cannabis environment, and they understand how important it is to have a larger community around cannabis. So that's why I'm continually telling you, you have to stop being negative around cisgender people. They actually like us. They actually want to help us. To separate ourselves from that, you're creating a big divide there that will not move us forward. That will only move us backwards. So good morning, Sam and Sylvia and William. Do you guys have your coffee? Mm. And let's let some more people come on because I think this morning, as you see, good morning, Karen. Nice to see you from Spain. Right on. This morning, we're going to really discuss something that I really love, and that is that word abundance. You know how much I love that word abundance. Good morning, Patty. How are you? And power in numbers, William. It's a real thing. Good morning, Jack. Power in numbers. We have separated our community on such a level that we don't like each other, or we've made pockets of little communities. Or good morning, Erica. Nice to see you. And good morning, Katrina from Australia. Thank you guys for joining us. So we're going to talk about abundance today because it is a real thing. And abundance also splashes over into lots of other things that happen with our community. But abundance can be a very powerful tool for us to talk about. Good morning, Lara. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your name. And oh, you're having phallo surgery. Right on, my friend. We would love to talk to you more about your phallo surgery. We don't get to talk a lot about that. Good morning, Anika and Rachel. Coffee. Yes. So I would love to discuss more about your phallo surgery. We don't have enough trans men discussing that. And so because of that, we have lack of information. And lack of information is not a good thing, especially if you had good phallo. Because as you know, there's not a lot of that out there. Good morning, Patrick. Nice to see you, my friend. Um, Abundance. Does any of you, or do any of you, understand what that word means? And do you have it in your life? Do you understand the word abundance? And do you understand fear? And do you understand what fear does? Fear pushes. I mean, that's a generalized thing. Fear in your body, and that could be fear towards a job. That could be fear towards do people. Why is this looking? Sorry, hold on one second. Fear towards anything in your life blocks you from getting that. It'll block you. Have fear for money. Watch, money won't come to you. If you're fearing your rent being paid, if you're fearing that you can't get a job, if you're fearing that, if you're constantly focused on that, it's an actual block. It actually will block. The universe is smart, kids. The universe is very smart and very in tune to you. You must come back to being in tune to what's around you. That's the universe, surroundings, what you bring into your life, what you put out of your life. That's all. All of that right there is the universe working for you or against you. So, hi Katrina, good morning, my friend. And Tori says, I have a friend who had the surgery and I know some of the odd things he encountered and I would be happy to share. Yes, I want to really make a whole somewhere where we could start to post that information and talk about it. Amanda says, abundance is the joy of recognizing the positive in your life. And yes, and not feeling in any way threatened by anybody else. That's a good point and a good thing that we must understand. There's no reason for you to be threatened by me or anyone else, because why? Why would you do that? Good morning, Erica. Fear is a beast, 100%. And Alexandra, good morning, my friend. And from Greensboro, North Carolina. Right on, John. Yes, we must remind ourselves about the universe. We must remind ourselves always about abundance. We must remind ourselves that sharing, here comes that really corny saying, sharing is caring, but it's real, right? It's real. William says, as the song goes, give a little love and all comes back to you. It is my favorite thing to do. I'll tell you, I'm like a shareaholic. Is that a possible thing to be? I'm a shareaholic because I know how amazing my life is. And my life is like that because I have no fear. What I don't like is something here. Making a weird light. It's the Fun Boys. Those are all the new products. I'll talk about those if you like to. Good morning, Dylan. We're talking about abundance this morning, Dylan. Did you see my butt crack? We're talking about abundance. We're talking about how to share, no fear. We're talking about how do we move forward as a community and as people. This isn't just about, when we talk on the B Cup, we're not talking about only the transgender community. We're talking about us as people. The B Cup is about people. It's not about trans. It's not about gay. It's not. The majority of the people that probably come on here are trans or gay or in the LGBT community somehow. But that's not really what I feel is positive. I really don't want to connect us into one community because we don't need to do that. I do believe it's important to understand community and to be a part of community, but your whole life shouldn't be sucked into just being a trans person or just being a gay person or just being LGBT. When you do that, you separate yourself. And then that's not part of abundance either. Hi, Simeon says, love yourself abundantly and the magic returns is fierce and fearless. Thank you so much, my friend. You are so right. Katrina says, I'm the mother of a trans child. Thank you for joining us, Katrina. You'll learn a lot here. We have a lot of great information about trans and just about moving forward and about how to really you have a big opportunity right now, Katrina, as a parent of a trans child. You have an opportunity to give your trans child an idea of what it means to be a person and not just a trans person. You must tell your child that. They are not just a trans person. They are a person. whatever that means. This idea that you are just trans is very, very dangerous. And it also doesn't let this person just be the boy or the girl or the gender that they choose to want to be. To all of a sudden say that this trans child thing, it's great and it's amazing, but what I just have a little bit of fear around is that we are then alienating our children because we're now completely, totally telling them they're only trans. You're now a trans child. That is actually not okay with me because you're not just a trans child. You're a child who happens to be a little bit special or happy or whatever you are. You know, you're blessed as a child to have a parent who understands that you have this situation happening with you. I was blessed too. My parents were very amazing to me. But you understand what I'm saying? I want to hear a little feedback around what you think about that. Katrina, you agree with me, which is fantastic. I appreciate that. Van says, Buck, you're such an amazing person. Well, thank you. But I appreciate that too. Thank you. So, yes, Katrina, the mother of the child, says, nope, they are just an amazing child. And all the parent, I'm in a parents group. I'm in a trans parent group where I've been blessed enough to been okay to come in because it's a secret private group. It needs to be. They have blessed me and let me come in there. And I see the passion that these parents have for their trans children. But they call them their daughter. They call their children their daughter, their son, their child. Not, they say my trans child, but I pretty much think that they're not walking around and saying, hi, Uncle Bobby, this is, Jerry, my trans child, right? You're probably not doing that, which I hope you're not, because let him or her or they figure out their own path and that they, yes, have a history of being a trans person, but that is not their full identity. I really want to encourage this, and I also want to encourage it within our community. Your label is not just trans. Your label is not just, if that's the only thing you're hanging on to, you're missing the point. You're missing the path. You're not letting the universe work for you. You have blocked yourself if that's the only thing that you are now. And I see a lot of people with that only as their identity. We have taken away individuality. Individuality is part of being trans, it's part of being a human, and it's part of moving forward. If now all of a sudden you're just trans and you're following these guidelines, why do you think there is a group of trans, I call them children because mostly they are children and mostly they, for some reason, feel threatened by me, don't like me. They don't like me. They're constantly saying things about me. They're constantly very disrespectful towards me. They're constantly, it's a group of them. I know who they are. And they feed off each other and they create the fear around me. And it's actually really discouraging for me because I'm only here to help and I'm only here to give you my opinion and what I think. No way am I forcing you to interact with me or to be a certain way. But there's this hate and this really deep down hate towards me. I mean, I've seen people write mean things about me, that I'm scum and I should die. Another transgender person writes that about me. Shame on you. I don't care if you like me or not, but to say that I should die or I should be dead or we need to get rid of him is really disturbing behavior from another community person to another community person. You don't have to like everybody in the community, but you sure as hell have to respect other people in this community, okay? That is where we need to understand abundance. Those children who continue to say dirty, nasty things about other people in our community and not only say dirty things, but to say kill yourself is so far from anything I can even understand. You have forgotten where you came from. You have forgotten your privilege. You have forgotten that your transition can be ripped right from underneath you in 2 seconds. You forget that when you sit there on the internet going, these people are bad, you should die, you're scum. What are you doing? And why are you doing that? I know why you're doing it. I know exactly why you're doing it. Fear. Fear is really this strong, powerful thing that guides a lot of people in our community. The transgender community tends to be a very fearful community. Roman says, I think I go too far the other end and I have little to no LGBT friends. Why do you need LGBT friends? Why can't you just have friends? Diana, good morning, my friend. Exactly, because parents don't say, here is my straight daughter. Good point. There's a good point. Amanda says just one label leads to depression and alienation. And that's why we have a lot of depression and alienation in the transgender community, right? Because we're doing that. We're already putting you into a little space there. Alex says, we will always love Buck. The haters can go die. You know, it doesn't it doesn't stop me, the haters. It doesn't. And I don't have a whole boatload of them, right? But what I do see is that hate. And what I don't understand is why you don't confront me to my face and why we don't have a conversation like adults. And then I have to remember, they're children. These are 21, 22, 25-year-old children. They don't know how to have a conversation, right? They only know. Rinchi says it's ugly to say that about anyone, about our community. That's my point. Grayson says, hey, Buck, how's it going? I just found out my insurance is going to cover a lot of my surgeries. I get to have top and bottom surgery in a year. What insurance company, Grayson? I'm really happy for you. What insurance company? We should know more about that insurance company. That's so awesome. Darla, you're never late. Don't ever say that here. We're all, I wake up and jump up and get my coffee. Seriously. Oh, hi, YouTube. I'm not ignoring you. I swear to God. Roman says, I do have friends, but I think there are certain parts of my experience that my other friends will never quite understand. This is something to be said for shared experience in LGBT. Right. I have never felt a part of this community, though I have always been part of it. Me too. Roman, me too. I don't have a lot of LGBT friends. I have a lot of friends, but I wouldn't say I specifically have only that community because I do always have felt this disconnect because there tends to be a lot of fear in the LGBT community, a lot of self-doubt, a lot of self-hate, a lot of anger, a lot of distress. I don't like to be around that energy. I hate it. It's not my energy. My energy is positive. My energy is creating positivity. My energy needs to be around your energy. I like your energy, where we converse with each other, where we play off of each other, where we have opinions and respect them, where we have fucking adult conversation, right? Grayson says, Anthem Blue Cross. Yes, I heard Blue Cross is becoming the trans insurance company. I have heard this about Blue Cross. So we must, actually, I think we as collectively should somehow thank Blue Cross. Collectively, we should send a huge thank you publicly on the internet to Blue Cross, saying thank you for really understanding. Really, do you understand what I'm saying? It's a big deal. Most insurance companies wouldn't cover us before. Now they're starting to cover us. Look, Grayson gets to have top and bottom surgery. Remember how old I am? Remember, I'm 55. I'm still paying for my own hormones because I have a pre-existing condition. Is this a condition? News to me, my friends. I have a pre-existing condition. My pre-existing condition is trans. My pre-existing condition is transsexual. Anyway, I can only laugh at it. I'm too old to argue with people. I get my testosterone is not that difficult. But I'm in a good space to get my testosterone. I can afford it on my own. I have the money to buy my own testosterone. What about Joe over here who doesn't have insurance and doesn't have the money to buy it? What about that? We need to have socialized medicine. I believe this country of America needs socialized medicine. Darla says, sorry to go off topic, but did you happen to see Tila Tequila's live stream? I don't know. It's randomly popped up on my timeline, and once I clicked upon her live stream, she sounded like she had a few screws loose. Well, I can't comment on that because I haven't. Jack says, Cedar Sinai in LA is now doing top and bottom surgery. Well, Jack, I would like to know more about the surgeon. It's great that they're doing that. Who is the surgeon and how is the outcome? If you can send me a direct message privately or an email, I want to know because I'm going to look into it. Because I think it's fantastic that they're doing top and bottom surgery. What is the quality of the top, because as you know, quality surgery is everything. I already know a lot of trans men who are very not happy with their surgeries because they went and just got their surgeries, because I understand the passion to get top surgery. I understand it 110%. But what is the quality of the surgery and the surgeons? Do you understand what I'm saying? Good morning, Stacy. Stacy's our moderator. Stacy's in the house. Hi, William. Good morning. Katrina says Australia just removed the clause that people under the age of 18 had to go to court to get their permission. Well, I'm going to comment on that. There is a line of age. There is a line of consent. There is a line of understanding who you are. When you get surgery, that's a definite. This is very controversial, what I'm going to tell you right now, and I don't care. It's a real thing. When you get surgery, it is definite. I will never have boobs again. Ever. Ever. You understand what I'm saying? It is extremely important that the youth understand at 16 years old, when you choose to remove your breasts, that is it forever. It is not something that you can just say, I'm going to have surgery, and maybe at 25, you've decided that, because I'm going to tell you right now, from 16 years old to 25 years old, there's a big growth period there. You're getting out into the real world. You're walking around. Your brain is also getting different kinds of feedback. So I will tell you that I am not 100% sure a 16-year-old should be having surgery. It is how I feel about it. Because, hi, I miss you too, Stacy. Brendan says, thanks for changing Blue Cross. I had problems with them about 5 years ago. They didn't cover my stuff. And now they do, Brendan. So you see how that works? They didn't even do it for me back in the day. Okay? Grayson says, I've been paying for my hormones for the last year and a half until this year when my insurance changed. Right on. Right on. That's fucking awesome. So Crystal says, I need surgery, but I don't think it will ever happen. I don't know if I can live with that. Crystal, we can help you. Don't worry. You're going to get surgery. Don't you worry about that. I'll help you. Don't even worry about that. Don't make that your focus of fear. Because I hear the fear in your voice, Crystal. No. No fear. We're going to get you surgery. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. Really. Trust me on that. Trust me. We're working on it, okay? Imagine if we had free healthcare in this country. Tori says, I wish we could get a place in this world where you don't have to mutilate your body to fit into what someone else's feels as a proper trans. Well, that's a whole socially constructed idea, right? That is. So that's your choice. I chose not to have surgery. I chose not to have bottom surgery. I did not take my body and say I chose to have top surgery, but I chose not to have bottom surgery 20 years ago. And I live an amazing life as a man with a vagina. And I have proven that if you choose not to have any surgery, you can have an amazing life. Remember this, kids. Don't forget what Trampa is telling you. Create your own space. Create your own identity. There is no right or wrong way to be female, male, they, gender nonconforming, whatever the fuck you want to identify. There is no way. You don't have to have surgery. You don't have to have hormones. You don't have to have shit. This is a misconception that we have brainwashed people in our community. It is not a joke. I am never going back. This ugly man, this ugly man who used to be a lady and did modeling because people thought I was pretty, I'm never going back to that shit, ever. Even if I wanted to. Even if I wanted to. That's powerful. You must understand that. It is so powerful, kids. So we must talk to the youngsters. We must tell them, yes, 16-year-old little kid, of course you want to have your breasts removed. Your breasts haven't even finished growing yet. Of course you want to have this. Of course you want to have that. Do you know patience is a virtue? And that's a real thing. Do you know patience will create you at a level that you never imagined? Have patience. Calm down. We all want it now. You don't think I want my millions of dollars in my bank account right now? Of course I do. Millions of dollars will set me free to do so many things for my community. It's not here yet. I have to have patience, and every day I work towards that. It's the same with your idea of you. It took me years to build this. Years to build my muscles, years to build my idea of who I am. I'm still changing. I'm ever changing. But surgery is a definite. You must hear me. Hormones are a definite. If you start to take hormones, things will change and they will not go back. Bridgie says in Oregon, OHSU, I have heard, is another place that does surgery too. Not sure. We need to see who's doing these surgeries. Honestly, I don't care. I think it's brilliant that these OSU, Cedars-Sinai, all these places are opening up to trans surgeries. But come on, pull back for a minute. Us as a community should think about this. We should think about this. Who are the surgeons? What type of surgery are they doing? Are they versed in transgender surgery? Are they versed in understanding who we are and our bodies? You want quality of results, Diana. Quality of results. So, Jack, your homework today for Trampaw is doing a little research on Maurice Garcia. Not only for me, but for your community. That's your community service work today, my friend. I appointed you. I need you to go and do a little internet research on Maurice Garcia. What has he done? Where did he come from? Where did he get his license from? Where has he worked before? How many transgender surgeries has he done? Do you understand what I'm saying? Because I'm going to tell you a fact. We are a commodity. I just spit all over my computer. That's so gross. Every day I go and look at my computer. I'm like, what is all this spit all over my screen? It's me and my coffee. I'm a spitter. Maurice Garcia. I appreciate that, Jack, and so does the community. That's community service. So, let's find out who these doctors are. What are their results? How many people have they done an amazing job? How many people have they not done an amazing job? Why are they working there? You understand what I'm saying? Why do you think the insurance companies are also opening it up for us? Bless them. Fantastic. But you don't think you think they're actually doing it from the kindness of their heart? Don't fool yourself, my friend. They're doing it for money. The insurance company sees us as a commodity. The fucking surgeons see us as a commodity. Fantastic and great. Fantastic and great. But you want to know something? People are in a hurry to get their surgeries. So that says something to me. They're not being patient. And they're not understanding the intensity of surgery. And they're not understanding that surgery is forever. Amanda says, I believe for a long time that I needed to choose between shells, either female or male. But the idea of surgery didn't feel right. For me, why must it all be one or the other? It took years to find that out. I can be happy somewhere in the middle. What that means for my final form, I don't know. But I'm 36 and I have the need for... Yes, my friend. Yes. It is your body, friends. It is your desire. It is your transition. There is no right or wrong way. I am only... What am I? Hold on one second. I'm going to shut this part so you don't have to hear me screaming. I am only one example, kids. I am only one example. There's a lot of examples out there. But if you need an example, find that example. But at the same time, who are you? Who are you? Understand understand the growth and the line of transitioning, physically transitioning, mentally transitioning. Oh, did Stace leave? Bye, Stace. We miss you. Okay, we'll talk to you later, Stacy. We miss you a lot. Understand this. It's a growth. It's like being born. It's like you're reborn. You don't want to just pop out and go. You have the opportunity to really find yourself. But the only way you find yourself is a slow, gradual climb. It's not running in and punching and done. Because if you do that, you're going to make a mistake. You must move slowly. Jack says, I decided not to rush surgery first and instead start hormones first. Of course that's the right decision. I personally think that's the right decision. But that's just me. That's the way I did it, and that's how it worked out so great. I started taking hormones first, and then in a year and a half or so, I found a surgeon who never did top surgery before, and I trusted him. But that said, you don't have to do that in 2018. There are many great surgeons. That's why I said we need to talk about the surgery, right? Crystal says, I hear Jazz Jennings may not be able to get her surgery due to weight or BMI. Well, that's a real thing, by the way, but also because of her puberty blockers kept her from proper development. So there's another problem we need to talk about. Exactly. Look, we are guinea pigs. I was a guinea pig. I was a guinea pig 22 years ago. I'm still a guinea pig. Shame on the medical world. Shame on the medical world. There's not hardly any studies on long-term use of testosterone. As you know, I had a horrible incident happen because of long-term use. I almost died. My whole reproductive system, because I didn't have a hysterectomy, because they kept telling me I did it, atrophied, became a fucking humongous infection, burst, and I became septic and almost died. And that was 5 years ago I've had that happen. Why are we doing no studies on that? You understand what I'm saying to you? Do they really care? Does the medical world really care about us? I don't think so. There are a few doctors out there who are I've met them, they're amazing. But a few in a pool in a sea of billions of them? No, I don't think so. Jeff says, yes, it is important to know about the surgeon, but it is also important to know that the education of the nursing staff, everything, Jeff, everything. You're right. Are we bringing people into Cedars-Sinai and training them around trans language, around how to treat somebody when you see that the man has a vagina, right? Pardon me. I have the worst allergies. Help me. Who knows or is versed on allergies? I mean, it's killing me. I'm using the neti pot, but geez, man, this is like taking me out. I can't take it. Tony says as long as it's money in their pockets, they don't care. That's why we have to care. It's a real thing. Okay, kids, I got a big day. I'm on the board of a new organization that I'm going to tell both YouTube and Facebook about. But one second, Amanda said something. Petra, yes, I'll respond later. Amanda says, I work in vet medicine. Statistically, male dogs who are neutered too young face a whole host of medical issues, including poor bone growth, possible cancers. I can see how this could translate to human medical. Yes! Yes! I take extremely good care of myself. You all know that. I am very versed on my health. I'm healthy. I don't drink alcohol. I don't do drugs. I work out all the time. I eat super fucking clean. I'm super healthy. That said, I'm having problems from long use of testosterone because they don't know what it does to us. So how do they know what hormone blockers are doing for your children? This is a very important conversation. Hormone blockers are still adding something to your body that is not natural. It is not natural. You are actually blocking a natural thing. Now, people are going to argue with me, I'm naturally a man, as if I was naturally grown. I was not naturally a man. Let's not lie and make bullshit stuff up. I was born female. My chromosomes are female. And I took testosterone and fucked with it and created this man because mentally I am male. Mentally, it's my mind that is male, not my body. I had to actually take a substance to create the masculinity. Let's talk real, people. This idea that I was always a man, that something just fucked up. No, you're not talking real. You're talking like you wish. That's not fact. Fact is, I was born as a woman. Fact is, I took testosterone. Fact is, my female body was not ready for that testosterone because I had female reproductive system, got completely destroyed from it because I was adding a substance to my body that was called what? Foreign. Why is everybody acting as if it's not like a weird thing? It is. You are fucking with something that doesn't necessarily want to be fucked with. So there's always going to be problems when you do that. And if we don't have this conversation, this is a really important health. It's about our health. It's not about your psychology. It's not about your mental state of being. It's about actual physical health. Two separate things. You must go to mental health care in order to create a very good, positive way you're thinking about your transition. As well, you must go to the doctor and you must understand your physical body and change. They're two separate things that come together to create you, but they're two separate ways of being. So Maureen says it's a long process for blockers for children. My daughter has doctor appointments every 3 months. She has, of course, and I'm glad that that's happening, Maureen. But let's talk about what is the long. Somebody on here wrote that somebody's child was on hormone. Oh, it was Jazz Jennings, and now possibly that has affected her. We need to talk about that. I care about your child and I care about the future of this transgender generation. And if we don't do it right now, they're going to take it away from us. Because in a sense, they want us to fuck up. They want us to fuck up so they can say, hey, wait a minute. They just fucked up all these kids because they were calling them trans. You understand what I'm saying? So it's our responsibility to make sure that we do this right. And parents and trans people and community leaders need to get together on this. And we need to all be on the same page. Because if we're not on the same page, the people out there who hate that we are having trans children will have so much ammunition against us, they will rip it out from underneath us, and we will no longer be able to publicly have trans children because they will say what we're doing is experiments and child abuse. They're already saying that. It's a real thing. We are responsible for our own community, and we are responsible to make sure that we show the world that what we are doing is positive and healthy. And when we don't do that, and when we fight against each other, and we look like people that don't like each other, and we look like we're not doing something positively, that's what they want to see. That's why they don't like me. I'm trying to tell you that we have to get together. Maureen, you haven't started anything. Okay, well, keep me posted if there's any way I can help you with your child and understanding and hook you up with other parents who are doing that. That's really important for you to also network with other parents. I hope that you're doing that. Smash says, same here, Buck. Had to get a histo, but everything has been okay since. But are they telling us old trannies, Smash? No, they're not telling us old trannies shit. They're just like, here, inject this testosterone. We don't know what's going to happen to you, but oh well, we'll figure it out when it comes. Really? Tell me what other group of people they do that. What other group of people are they just giving medication to without any understanding of the future of that medication? They aren't doing that. They did it early in HIV and AIDS with AZT, but they had to save lives. But now they're so versed in AIDS, and they're actually getting rid of it. HIV, they have PrEP, they have all this amazing shit. They're moving forward. Why is the AIDS community moving forward like that? Because they fight for each other in a community where they all have the same thing going on. We need to look at that AIDS and HIV community and take from that and say they are dying. They are fucking dying of some shit, but they get together and they know the power of numbers and they know the power of talking about it to the rest of the world who thinks it's just a gay. People still think AIDS and HIV is for gay men. That's how unbelievably like disconnected from AIDS the world is. Shell says, can you explain again what happened if you don't have a hysterectomy but start hormones? What happened to you? Okay, let me just tell you really quick and I gotta go. For 20 years, I took testosterone. One day, I woke up with huge pain. I went to the doctor. I said, every time I have an orgasm, I have these crazy pains. The doctor did a test, the gynecologist, a pap smear, didn't see anything, said, you're okay. I went back 3 years. I was having these horrible cramps when I was having orgasms. Then I fell to the floor, and I was like in septic shock. What happened was my whole reproductive system, which wasn't removed, which should have been, atrophied from long-term use of testosterone. So my uterus and my cervix fused together. They fused together. Your uterus should be open. That's what the vagina does. It's a machine. Nothing came out. I created a huge, gigantic infection in my uterus. It popped. I became septic, this close to dying. Not kidding. That was 5 years ago. I had massive surgeries. I had to be on antibiotics. It was horrible, horrible. They can stop that from happening if they talk to guys about long-term use. But I ask all the time. I ask gynecologists all the time, do you know that? They're like, what? I never even heard of that. How shameful is that? I am a big public figure. I talk about this all the time. Why hasn't this been taken to the medical world? Why are we not telling young trans men this is one of the bad things about taking testosterone? The only information they're getting about that is from me. So that is our job, is to make sure our doctors are working for us. And why I told Jack, I don't even know who that Mr. Garcia, Dr. Garcia is. Who is that? I want to know. Is he performing surgeries from his heart, or is he performing surgeries for his money? Big difference, my friends. We need doctors who care about us, not doctors who want to make a lot of money from us. We're a commodity. I'm going to say it again. We are a commodity. Insurance companies are now working with us. Why? Why? So there's Tori putting a link, a very important link. Send me that in my email, Tori. I would appreciate it. So, YouTubers, I gotta go. Here we go. Ala says, do you have any thoughts or opinions about antidepressants? I was on them for many years and I feel that they made it harder for me to find myself. Antidepressants are great. They work for some people. They don't work for some people. I use cannabis, and I'm not depressed. I have more of an anxiety and sleeplessness. That said, I don't know if you've looked into using cannabis or CBD for your depression. I don't like big pharma. I don't like medication. I don't take any of it. I don't even use that stuff in my nose. I'm using like natural, which is why it's taking so long. So, these are all great links. Send these all to my email, kids, so we can post them and post them on your Facebook. It's your responsibility as an activist. Remember, when you join the B Cup, you immediately become an activist, whether you like it or not. That's just how it works. So, how I feel about antidepressants is I find them to be helpful for some and not for others. So you need it's an individual thing. Sometimes they do work and they're necessary, and sometimes they don't and they're not necessary. Find your space. So you see, like Nate, he uses it because he needs it. Okay, kids, YouTubers, I love you very much. Thank you so much for spending every morning with me. I will come on tomorrow, but I'm leaving for Colorado in the morning to speak in Telluride. But I will be back on Saturday, and I will see you on Monday. Oh no, tomorrow's Friday. God, I'm totally out of my mind. I work too much. I love you guys. So hold on one second. Remember, Bugs Bunny.